Hello folks, I'm Dean with Dean's Woodworking. Welcome to the shop. Y'all come on in and make yourself comfortable. Today, we're going to make a shot glass. You see, I made the champagne glass here a week or two ago, and I had a lot of feedback from you folks, some of you folks, that project was a little outside of your wheelhouse or a little above your skills. I personally believe everybody can make a champagne glass. It may take you a little while. You may have some skills to work on, but everybody can make one. But I wanted to do something everybody could do regardless of skill level, and that I think will be super simple and absolutely fun to make and fun to have, and that's a shot glass. Today we're going to make this one out of oak. Now let me warn you in advance. If you're going to use oak, let's make sure we're using white oak and not red oak. You use red oak, that's an open pore wood. It's going to come out the bottom almost as fast as you pour it in the top, okay? So just be aware of what oak you're using, okay? I have a piece of white oak chucked up in the chuck. Now this is a piece that I turned around, I believe it was marked 2017, and I took it in the house and put it on the lower rack of a wire rack. So it's been sitting there for 4+ years anyway, and so it should be plenty dry. Let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to start off with a 3/4 inch skew. We're going to do a few peeling cuts just to get this end down to where we want, and we're going to leave it between centers for right now because we are awfully far off of that chuck. I don't necessarily recommend that you be off the chuck that far. And those peeling cuts will just let us go right on down. Let's see here. We're going for something about that. We hit it perfect. Don't ask me how that happened. So again, we're just peeling this down at this point. Let's go ahead and measure how tall our shot glass is. We're just going to go basically rough. We're just going to roughly go off of this one at 2 1/4. So we need to go back about another 1/2 inch plus room to part it off. So we'll come in and take a couple of more cuts about like that. And all we're doing is we're just leaving straight sides on that are tapered down. Also, somebody else left me a comment, said, do we have to use a skew? No, you use a tool that you're comfortable with, that you like. Boy, that wood is hard. You saw me get a couple of run backs there. I believe we're good there. Let's see here. I think we're going to be just a little bit smaller than what we were. Yeah, we're just about a 1/16 inch smaller on the top. Again, I'm not going to get into real tight details on that. We're just getting close here. And we're right about where we need to be on the bottom too. So basically at that point, we've taken care of our top, or our outside. Now let's do this. Let's just put us a couple. We're going to come in and put a couple of burn marks on that. Now this is one of the larger wires that I have. I'm just going to hold it in there and let it burn into that wood. Now that came untwisted there, so. And should I remind everybody, that wire is hot. It just got against my finger. Just to remind me, to remind you guys that it's hot. Okay, once we have that burned in there, lay it on something you don't want to get burned because it is extremely hot. We'll move our tailstock out of the way and come in with some 220 sandpaper. Now folks, that's one of the things, let me talk about just a second. You'll hear people say that they start with everything from 80 to 400 grit sandpaper. Start where it's best for you. It's better to start with a lower grit than it is to start with a higher grit and spend all day sanding. Because I did that with a skew, I can start with 220 and that's fine. It didn't take that long to sand it. Had I done that with a scraper, I might have needed to start with 80. It's just a different type of cut and it's going to leave a different finish. So let's take a look at that. That is the outside of our shot glass. Now we're going to go ahead, we're going to remove our tailstock and we're going to hollow this thing out. Now remember the hollowing tool we made a while back? We're going to come in with that and we're just going to start hollowing it out. We'll go ahead and drill straight in just a little bit. I think we need to raise that tool rest just a little bit. That's one thing that ball mill will absolutely drill straight in. And then you can take very fine cuts of this thing, or you can take some pretty aggressive cuts. In this case, we're not gonna get too aggressive because we are, well, we're hanging off that chuck quite a ways. And this wood is hard, but you notice the little shavings that are coming off of there? Okay, we're just gonna keep on pulling this out just a little bit at a time. Now folks, there's quite a few tools you can use for this. You can come in with a bowl gouge, some initial cuts. You can do the same thing with spindle gouge. And we just got that thing vibrating a little bit. Let's take it, let's stop. We need to get it centered back up. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to use my cone center. Come in, we're going to loosen it up in that chuck just a little bit. Bring that cone center in, that should center it up real good. I'm not sure exactly what happened there, but we are off just a little bit. So I'm going to take the skew and I'm going to take a cut on that outside and get that outside trued back up, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so we've got that outside shape. We're going to come in, we're going to put a couple of burn lines in here, and we're going to put a couple of more down here. Okay, that should give you guys a good visual of the end of that so that we can do the hollowing of the inside. Again, I will put a link to the tool that we made here that we're going to be using for hollowing. And I've also got some affiliate links in the description. And one of those links is to the ball mill that we use to make this tool with. Now, I will tell you, this tool can go from being not aggressive at all to very aggressive just by a simple twist. And you determine that. I will say it does take a little getting used to. But it's certainly not a difficult tool to use. One of the nice things about this tool is it will drill as well. So that's what we're doing right now. And I match the side of this with my set screw, so I know exactly how far down I want to go. Okay, let's take a look at that before we get any further. Okay, the sidewall's looking good. We still got some depth to go. We'll go ahead and get back at it. Okay, folks, that is almost exactly the same depth as our store-bought shot glass. I'm going to come in and take just a little bit more off of this so we can part off and leave everything we see there. First, I'm going to sand the inside of this real good, and I'll be right back. Say, folks, while I'm sanding, if you like what you're seeing and you want to help support the channel, please subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and leave me a comment. Let me know what you think, okay? And if there's something that you want to see, please leave me a comment and let me know, and we'll see if we can't work on that, okay? Okay, folks, so we've got this thing sanded out. Let's take a look at it. We're going to come back and we're going to cut back just a little bit, so when we part it off, everything you see here will still be part of the shot glass. So we've got a little trash in there, but it is sanded out, smooth, ready to be used. So let's go ahead and we'll take a cut right here. We'll just do a peeling cut, remove some of that so that we can part this off. Go ahead and bring the speed up a little bit there. And we're not going to take a great big honking cut. We're just going to take a couple of little ones here. And try and be careful and not get into our shot glass there. We're going to come in with our parting tool, and all we did with the skew is just put just a little bit of bevel right there on the edge. We're going to drop our tool rest down just a little bit. Once we get going, we're going to angle that in just a little bit so that it kind of recesses the bottom of that shot glass. But we're going to stop right there. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of an antique oil finish on the outside of this, and I'm going to leave the inside raw. And again, on this, all I'm going to do is finish the outside. You can do it however you want to do it. The one you make is yours. But bear in mind, there is a product on the market. I think they make it out of oak and cherry. I don't know, one other wood. And they make bullets or bullet shapes out of the oak to drop down in the whiskey to give it better flavor. And my understanding is after just a few days, it really smooths out that whiskey. I've never used one, although I might consider making one just to see. Okay, we're going to let this set here just a little bit. and I'll be right back with you folks. Okay folks, so we lost just a little bit of footage there of me parting off the shot glass. Well, let me just tell you what we did. We went ahead and took a paper towel and we buffed that finish in, and then we came back and parted the shot glass off. And so really you didn't miss much there. Here's the final product. Let you guys take a look at it. It's an oak shot glass. Just to give you something to reference, this is a glass shot glass right here. So roughly the same. The glass is a little bit thicker and therefore is a little bit larger at the top. And if you look, this one goes just a little bit deeper. But I'm very comfortable in knowing that it's close enough to a shot for my personal concerns. So once we parted that off, we took the sander and we sanded this little nub off. Now you see that's darker there just a little bit. That's because the piece of sandpaper on my sander needs to be replaced. So I'm going to replace that, come in and take one more swipe of that, and you'll see the color go away there in the center. I did not put finish on the inside. We're going to leave that raw wood. By the way, your whiskey sets in oak barrels to begin with. And remember, when you're doing this, make sure you're using white oak and not red oak. If you use red oak, it's an open pour wood and stuff's going to come out the bottom about as fast as you pour it in the top, okay? Just a heads up. I think this is something I'll enjoy, something you may enjoy, something very simple to turn, and I think your friends and family will love it. If you're doing craft and art fairs, I'll guarantee you people will buy these. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for supporting the channel. Stay safe, stay healthy, and happy turning.